What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Life Coach Zach podcast. Today I have a very special guest. I have Avni Parekh, author of self-help book, Be the Bigger Person, Scenarios and Solutions to Better Yourself. How you doing, Avni?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. I'm doing really well too. So happy to share a good conversation with you about being the bigger person, about personal growth, self-development, something that is really close to my heart. Over the last 6 years or so, I've been reading a ton of books, nonfiction books on being better and personal growth, self-development. Anyone from Jack Canfield, Napoleon Hill, Darren Hardy, Tony Robbins, pretty much every author in the book. And I love to have more conversations so I can learn more about your journey, learn more about what's in your book, and apply that to my life. So happy to have this conversation. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your book, and how you started your personal growth journey?
Sure. So I'm local to South Florida. I was born in England and raised in Miami, and I'm of Indian descent. So basically, my grandparents and the rest of the lineage onward, or forwards, I guess, or backwards actually, is all originated from India, and we also have a rich history of being in East Africa as well. So that's a little bit about my ethnic background. But I'll tell you something, self-development has always been something that's been near and dear to my heart ever since I was a child, just like writing. So for me, being the bigger person, which is what my book is about, basically overcoming obstacles by taking the high road as opposed to letting your anger guide you. You know,
Mm.
oftentimes it's easier said than done, which is what I find in my experience. But the more and more we begin to implement that principle of being the bigger person, where I'm not going to succumb to anything you're throwing at me because I'm above that, and I know that there are so many more things in life that are worth my energy than to get upset over perhaps something as trivial as, hey, you stole my parking spot, or hey, you pushed me, and it could have just been a simple accident. So, I found that I wanted to be able to share this principle that's been so near and dear to my heart all my life with readers. And, since I love writing, it was just so natural for me to just basically write it all down. I basically wrote the book in 30 days,
Wow.
several years back. Yeah. And it just came so naturally. And the whole premise really is the book has 150 scenarios, all divided into 10 chapters. So each chapter has 15 real life scenarios that I have found in my experience that resonate within most human beings. It's like, hey, you're getting tailgated, someone flicked the finger at you while you're driving. All of these things happen to us, you got into a quarrel with somebody in a public place. I mean, that is happening so much these days. So I figured, let me write something that's super simple. Go through the book, flip to the situation and scenario that is applicable to you, and take a simple positive takeaway. So,
Amazing. Yeah, sometimes it's easier said than done to be the bigger person, right? And I know that all of us get into scenarios every single day, maybe every week, of someone cutting us off or stealing that parking spot, or maybe we do have a conflict with a coworker or even someone in our family, and we know to bite our tongue. We know to be the bigger person and take the high road, but sometimes it's not that easy. So what's some advice you have for people to be more conscious, be more aware when they're about to act impulsively and really channel the bigger person inside their heart?
that's such a great question, Zach. What's really important, I find, is getting within yourself to know, who am I? Am I this person who's so easily instigated by others that I can't control myself? Or am I somebody who is actively learning, who is wanting to evolve as a human being, and really, take part in our global community?
Mm.
It's about internalizing who you are, putting up all of those safeguards, understanding that you are so much more bigger than trivial things that you deal with every day,
Right.
and so it takes an active effort. I think one of the best things is maybe take 5 minutes out of your day, just to sit there and reflect, what am I grateful for today?
Right.
And for example, right now, we're all going through this pandemic. There's not one person who's not suffering in one way or another, whether it's through personal loss, whether it's through physical issues, through COVID, whether now it's actual mental, the whole mental anxiety. A lot of people are
Yeah.
just getting cooped up in their thoughts. There isn't a release. So we need to really reflect.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing.
Mhm.
Self-awareness.
Self-awareness is so important. Now, do you think that the practice of being the bigger person or biting your tongue or taking the high road is a muscle where the more we do it, the more we can more consistent we become with it, it gets easier over time?
Yes,
You
absolutely.
think that? Okay. Now, how does being the bigger person and taking the high road impact our mental health? Are you there? Oh,
Well,
okay.
think about it in this sense. Every day we're all going through something. Whether, for example, you and I were going to touch base last week, and I caught a cold and I literally felt like death. That impacted me for that week. I was like, holy moly. I mean, this thing's got me down and out. And I was just, I mean, my mind wasn't thinking positively. I was like, oh my God, I've got all of these days. It's been a week now. Luckily, it's been a week and I'm feeling better.
Good.
But it's like,
You look great.
thank you. Thank you. Makeup helps, and great company as well. But it's like, that affected me one day, but that also affected me for the rest of the week. Then, here I am also working, and work is never easy for anybody. We all encounter stress. So it's like, you really are, as a human being, going through so many different states of emotions on a single day, whether or not you're actually internalizing it. Um, Subconsciously, you are internalizing it. In here, it's all being absorbed. And then what happens is sometimes we become a ticking time bomb. It's like, this happened to me, this happened to me, this happened to me. And it's like, when you don't deal with these issues in one way or another, sometimes I find writing is a great release.
Very therapeutic.
Speaking to somebody, release. Um, but when you do not have an outlet to be able to release these emotions that all of us are holding in every day, and as time goes on, the outcomes can be such that you lose your temper and you act in a way that perhaps isn't becoming of your true nature.
Yeah. And that's something we can all work on because there's so many positive effects to taking the higher road that you just mentioned, and we deal with so much anxiety inside our mind. Humans, we have this ability to think and feel, and we can analyze our thoughts or we can overanalyze our thoughts, and a lot of us don't have a strong relationship and a healthy, peaceful relationship with our mind. And there's a lot of exterior circumstances that come into play throughout our day that can really impact us long term if we impulsively don't take the higher road, right? And so, but I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on a copy of your book. People can get it on Amazon.com, I assume.
Yes, absolutely. It's available on Amazon. They're also welcome to check out the website, which is btbpbook.com. I'm also on social media. So I think anything that will help your audience or viewers, whether it's through my book, whether it's through, other avenues, listening to podcasts, like yours, or reading books by other authors who are actually providing tools. I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah. Let me ask you a couple questions. First question, what are your daily non-negotiables when it comes to mental health or self-care or personal growth?
My non-negotiables, that is such a great question. Well, one of the things that I do not negotiate on these days is if I'm not feeling well enough, I don't want to push myself. That means, guess what? I made plans with a friend and I have to cancel them because I'm not feeling good. I need to do them. And, it's easy to say that, but you really have to actively do it because I want to see people. It's like, who doesn't want to see their friends? Who doesn't want to be going out? Who doesn't want to just kind of get their mind off of stuff? But truth is, you know, you got to take care of you
Mm-hmm.
first. So that's the first thing. The second thing is a non-negotiable in my daily life is always surrounding myself with people who keep me up. You know, I've had it in the past where you want to be friends with people, and everyone comes with their own set of problems, but sometimes you have to be able to delineate between somebody who's actually suffering or somebody who's actually creating all this suffering, saying this is a problem, this is a problem, this is a problem, when in essence perhaps the problem really lies in that person. So that's a really big one. Surround yourself with people who keep you going up.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, it's, the daily meditation, the daily writing, waking up early. Those are like the most important things for me. Obviously, exercise and things like that, but being consistent with writing, being consistent with meditating is something that holds the foundation of my personal growth together, because it's really important just to be 1% better every day. Those small micro wins consistently execute over time amount to massive results. So whether it's surrounding yourself with the right people or not being too hard on yourself when you're not feeling great, or daily meditation and daily writing, keeping that consistency around something is what's really going to be the pillars that you could leap off of to reach even higher heights. But Avni, it was great chat today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Everyone, go ahead and get a copy of Avni's book. I'll put a link to the website below. Follow Avni on Instagram. Avni, what's your Instagram handle?
So you can find me on Instagram at Avni Parekh, which is A, V as in Victor, N-I-Parekh.
Awesome. Super cool. Avni, is there any last words you have for the audience before we wrap up today?
Yeah, guys, what I want to tell you is make yourselves your number one priority. Really prioritize your mental, physical, and emotional health. If you need to reach out to me, Zach, anyone else, go ahead and do it. This is the time, but take care of yourselves.
Absolutely. This is the time. There's no better time than the present. Put yourself first. You can't be there for your family. You can't be there for your friends if you need the help as well. When we're on an airplane and it's going down and the oxygen pressure is dropping dramatically, we put our face mask on first before we help others. And that's how we should all live our life. Prioritize your physical health, your mental health, and your emotional health, just like Avni said. Avni, again, thank you so much for your time today. I wish you the best of luck with everything. If there's anything you need from me, or if I can support you in any other ways besides purchasing your book, please let me know. I'd be happy to do so.
Thank you so much, Zach, and likewise.
Awesome.